Alright, hello. In this video, I'm going to be answering Artwork's question. This is a common problem that you might face in Godot, but I have written something for this a while ago. I haven't shared it yet because it's still got some rough edges, it doesn't have any user interface around it, and it's kind of confusing to use, but hopefully this video will help because this is something that will save you a lot of time. So to show it off, I will be using this project. It's kind of like a starter kit. If you've seen them in other engines, it's just got like a first-person controller, some just some basic stuff set up. So like if you're starting a game jam or something, this might be a good starting point for you. So you can get this project over here on GitHub. I would recommend cloning it. You can clone it with this command. And when you clone it using recursive submodules, it's going to bring in these two. And standard assets is, slightly more polished. It's a lot of stuff in here. And editor toolbox is kind of sloppy. I don't really need to share this one yet. But this is where the post import script is. So yeah, why did I write a post import script, and why aren't we using the options available from Godot itself? And well, there are three reasons that I have. Where are they? Here they are. So they really don't give you many options, right? You've got just three options, or four options, I guess. Right? You don't have an option to import primitive mesh, and let's see. Also, it doesn't assign external materials for you, and it also doesn't assign physics materials for you, which is, if you think about it, that's generally something you'll want to do, right? So if you have a piece of wood or a stone in Blender, then you already know that you're going to want to have a stone or a wood physics material on that object. So it would be nice to handle all that at the same time, which is the problem I have solved here. So, right, so to begin with, right, I hope I don't forget to say something. But in standard assets, I have physics materials already generated with approximate values. I'm not sure what these really should be. Whatever feels fun, I guess. But mostly I use physics materials for sound. Like when I collide with something, I would want a different sound effect to play. So yeah, in this project, in documentation in Blender, I have hidden away a Blender file to demonstrate how it's done. So the most confusing part about all this is going to be the name conventions used. And the reason I have a rather complex naming conventions here is because we export GLB files with Blender into Godot. And GLB files, they just don't have a lot of metadata with them to make use of, so I just use the file name itself. And the prefixes and suffixes used here, they're not things that I've made up. They're all things that I've seen before. Let's see. Here they are. So like this is very common in like Unreal Engine. So. And another one here, I guess, would be prefab, but you don't use that in Blender. That's used when you export. And so yeah, just be careful to look through these and make sure they match. So if you misspell something, like if you have like an S in here, which is, I think this is default when you create a new mesh, it'll just have the same name, right? And so that's going to be a problem. And so, Blender has access to Python, so there's lots of ways to rename this in batch. I'm wanting to at some point have a drop-down menu up top here, some kind of shortcut. I'm not exactly sure how, but I would like a list of commands that will, just be helpful. And so this one, for example, throws an error. What? Oh, I left out the import. So there you go. It'll batch them up. So yeah, what do I want to try to remember to tell you guys here? You'll need a bit of Blender to really have fun with this, but there's various things you can mess up. So like Control A would be to apply transforms. Control L would be to link materials. Make sure you don't link object data. That's annoying. So the materials that you assign to your physics objects, they don't matter. I don't read from this, but this could have been an alternate implementation for trying to figure out what physics material you want, but I just used the little suffix tag here instead. But this material is used though, and so you want to make sure that your rendered mesh object here has a material name that matches an existing mesh, or an existing material in Blender, and you'll see our existing material is here. So I mean, that's the basic idea. So in this case, we have one rendered object with 6 collision shapes attached to it. Often you might only have, most often you'll just have one collision shape per object. So how do we export this from Blender? Well, I have a script here to export it. So you just want to make sure to only select the parent object. Do not select both. Make sure you have just the parent object selected. So generally you want to have everything collapsed, and then you can batch select a big group, and just hit play here, and it'll print them out. And so that's what this is here. And so now it's in Blender. And so in order to run our post-import script, we have to make sure it is here. And as long as it's here, it's going to run every time we import it. So just for example, we can re-import, and we can see the output here. So it did find the material. It's reading our collision shapes, and it's applying static bodies. Cool. Right, we can make it default here to make sure that all of our new GLB have their import script field populated. It's blank here because I don't think it matters for this project, but that's where you would set it if you wanted to. And I think that's everything I had to say. But yeah, you can now drag it into the scene, and enable gizmos to verify that colliders are there, and we should be able to play and walk around. Yep, that's the basic idea. I hope this helps, and see you next time. Oh, I guess I should say, if you want to help and reach out, or if you find any bugs, or if you have any questions, the best way to say hello is here in the issue section. And this is still a new project, so there's nobody here yet. But anyway, have a great day.